Greetings folks, and I hope the 1/6 scale gods are smiling on you wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another episode of Grail or Fail. For the newbies, Grail or Fail is where we revisit an action figure widely considered to be a classic and find out if it's still worthy of that Grail status today. So, in the spotlight, it's Blitzway's take on Astroboy, aka the Mighty Atom. But before we dive in, I would like to send a usual shout out to everyone who supported the channel, and please drop a like on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale action figure goodness that we've got coming up. So, Astroboy, a groundbreaking, best-selling Japanese manga, which became pretty much the first TV show to introduce the world to anime. Written by the late, great Osaka Tezuka, who is pretty much considered to be the godfather of the genre. As always, a full review for this piece is up on the channel, so if you're wanting to see it in more detail, check out the homepage. It will be impossible to cover all the details in this particular piece in a 20-minute video, so yeah, check it out if you're wanting to see this thing in a little bit more depth. So Blitzway released this piece back in 2020, which Mr. Go Figure slept on, unfortunately, but when they released a 2.0 version around 2023, Mr. Go Figure was wide awake at that point and was not going to pass it up. So without further ado, let's dive in and find out whether Astroboy from Blitzway is a grail or a fail. Okay folks, so usual format, we will get up close and personal with Astroboy, then we'll go in for a final verdict on this guy, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we dive into Astroboy himself, I think probably what we really need to do is take a look at this pod that he comes with now. This is the Deluxe edition. The standard edition just comes with this particular base, and Astroboy himself, but if you go all in and go Deluxe, you get this amazing piece of kit, this pod. Where to begin with this pod? We won't cover all the details because, like I said in the intro there is just so much to look at here, but essentially it's pretty much all constructed of plastic, this pod, with a few little bits of metal going on. It's got this clear window in the front there where you can display Astroboy himself. We're going to get some odd reflections coming off the lights here, but that can't be helped. But yeah, really nicely done, real nice paint, really nice paint applications, give it that metallic look. That copper band around the top there, you've got these canisters on the side, and the eagle-eyed amongst you probably notice on the inside there you've got dials and bits of the swap out body pieces for Astroboy. We'll take a look inside in a second, but it's worth having a quick look around the outside of this fantastic piece. Another great feature actually is you've got a couple of doors in the bottom here, which you can store all your swap out pieces in. Great idea from Blitzway there, I think. Phenomenal idea. And yeah, there are lots of different looks here for Astroboy. You're not limited to one particular look. There are several different ones, and there are lots of pieces going on here. So yeah, there's another drawer here if this one will open, and I will have to use my other hand for this. Swap the hands out there. Yeah, and you've got another face stowed in there and some other body parts as well. On the side of this pod, you have this control panel. Now, lift that control panel off, insert 3 batteries, and you've got the light up feature, which is activated by this button here. So you hit that button and the whole interior becomes illuminated, and you can see those extra body parts inside. And you can display them inside here, outside. It's really entirely up to you, but I think it's a cracking piece of work here from Blitzway, and I always choose to display him inside the pod. So let's swing this thing round and pull back a little bit so you can take it in all its glory as it swings round. And it is a phenomenally big piece, so you're going to need a decent amount of display space for this guy if you're thinking of picking it up. It is a large piece. Doors on the back. Now these doors are double doors, so when you open one, the other one opens up, and when you swing those doors open, you are greeted with the interior, and the interior is just excellent. It really, really is. On the sides here, as I say, you've got that storage space there for different body parts, and there's a spot for just about everything in there. These clear plastic sections will become apparent later on. As I mentioned, there are lots of different looks. for Astroboy that you can go for. I tend to sport the one that we're looking at here, which is the half and half, simply because the engineering is just so phenomenal in this piece. But yeah, we'll have an up close with that in a sec. The doors actually, as I say, store all those fantastic pieces. You've got all the LED spotlights on the inside. There's 3 on either side. They're really nice and bright, and they illuminate the figure really, really well. And you've got these pegs where his feet go on the bottom, which are matched on the standard base as well. So he's pretty secure in there if you're wanting to display him inside it. Yeah, and obviously that window at the back there from a different angle. So yeah, hinges are nice and smooth on this thing. Love the fact that it's double closing, so you don't need to use 2 hands. You can open and close it with 1 hand there, and both doors will always stay aligned with each other. Really nice level of detailing, really nice paint, and just a nice little bit of engineering here, and a wonderful way to display the extra body parts. So talking of extra body parts, what looks can you get with this figure? Well, let's take a look at the figure, and that will sort of become apparent. As I mentioned before here, what you've got is the half and half look, which is the one that I prefer, simply because you can expose all this fantastic engineering that Blitzway have done on the underneath here. Now, all the outer casing here of this body, all these parts that make up the body, are metal. So it's got some real heft to it. This piece, and they are, as I say, all interchangeable. There is a little tool that comes with this particular figure, and it's this sort of prizing tool, this plastic prizing tool. You do have to prize these body parts off, and it can be quite time consuming, but it is worth the effort. Now, 3 looks, as I mentioned, you can go, well, it's more than 3 looks actually, because you can do this half and half look. You can have him completely stripped down without this hair piece that's on the top here, or any of these sort of skin coloured body parts and the red boots. You can have it fully stripped down, so all you've got is the mechanical section, or you can go for the half section, which I've gone for here, or you can go for a clear body parts, which Blitzway provide, which are these clear plastic pieces. So you've got the external body, but with all that fantastic engineering on display, and it is phenomenal. As you can see there, a lot of these are metal parts in here. The paint applications are incredible. They really are. I don't think this video or this lighting will probably do it the justice it deserves, but yeah, you've got wiring in there, you've got gold and blues, you've got all manners of circuitry, and yeah, different textures, different paint applications. It is a thing of beauty. I'll just swing it round a little bit here so you can just we can get this into the light so you can just see the level of detail they've gone into here. And you've even got this clear plastic cover. You can have the skin coloured sections on there, but I've gone with the clear plastic on for this particular look, so you can see the robotic sections in the back of the hand as well. Just incredible paintwork as well. Puts me in mind of BM projects. Kaneda's bike, the Popanika, that we revisited recently on the channel. Super high gloss and beautifully done, absolutely amazingly done. The gloss on the paint applications here is great, and the paint applications all over are absolutely spot on. If I had one complaint here, if you are swapping out the looks, and obviously it's an option there with all these different looks that you've got. I do occasionally swap this piece out. I would say if you are picking it up, exercise caution. Some of the tolerances on this body and on these parts, because each one has to be taken off in order, and it has to be taken off in a specific way, can be a ball ache and quite time consuming. And some of the tolerances are slightly out. You do feel like you're going to break it when you're popping those pieces off. So exercise caution if you're thinking of picking Astroboy up. But yeah, just a phenomenal piece of engineering. And then we get to the light up features on this guy. Well, before we get to the lighter features, actually, it's fair to say I'm not going to swap out each and every look here for this episode of Grail or Fail, simply because if I did, we would be here till the middle of next week, and yeah, there are that many different variations. But if you're wanting to see them, we will include some in the showcase at the end. So yeah, as I mentioned, you can display him inside this this behemoth of a pod, or alternatively on this the sort of the standard issue display stand, which is really nicely done as well. Sculpted plastic, you've got that metallic paint application on there, you've got those golds and brasses going on, and then there's that sort of sci-fi-esque machinery going on at the back there with the electrodes and the transmitters and whatever they might be going on the dials and stuff. So yeah, this would be a perfectly adequate base on its own, but Blitzway saw fit to go all in with this huge thing as well. As I mentioned, light up features. Now, regulars to the channel will know Mr. Go Figure is not a massive fan of light up features, but you can't avoid them with this thing. They really are that well done, and such an integral part of the display of this particular piece that this is probably one of the few pieces where I do regularly use the light up features. These on the inside here, as we mentioned before, with those lovely little LED spots to highlight the body itself, but also there's a battery compartment inside this guy, and it's activated by pressing his heart. You probably saw it when we did the intro here. So you hit that heart, and the lights just go to town on the body itself. Now we've got some very bright white LEDs going on here, so maybe not be able to see these particularly well. We will dim the lights for the showcase at the end, but yeah, his eye lights up in that super bright white LED. Then the button, which doubles as his heart as well, has a sort of orangey red LED inside there, and it doesn't just go on and off, it actually flickers like a heartbeat. So yeah, excellent work there from Blitzway, I've got to say. And then you go down, and the rocket sections in his legs, which he uses for propulsion, actually glow as well. And once again, I'm going to try and get the camera right down here so you can see this. It's not just an on-off. They've used a flickering effect in there to sort of indicate those rocket stroke jet engines that he's got in his boots, and just looks absolutely superb. Dim the lights a little bit and turn the light up features on this, and then you know, it really does look impressive. But as I say, we'll catch that in the showcase at the end. I suppose if I had to pick another minor niggle with this particular piece, possibly could have been done USB. The fact that this whole pod section runs off batteries. Okay, they're not button cell batteries, but it's still battery powered. This whole thing could have been USB powered, especially in a 2.0 version. I have never had my hands on the original, so I can't say what the differences are between the two, but yeah, it would have been nice to see USB Type-C or something like that to power the pod. And you've also got button cell batteries, obviously, inside the figure itself. Now, that would have been nice to see maybe another solution there as well, powered through the base possibly, but it is what it is. I think the lightness to Astroboy is absolutely nailed on 100%, and forgot to mention there, actually, we'll bring these out because it's worth having a look at these. Stowed in these in these trays at the bottom here, you have the full face as well, and I'll just get that one out. The face itself is actually plastic. It's one of the few parts of this piece which is actually plastic, but you can go for full face eyes open, full face eyes closed, half face like this with just the one eye shut and then the LED light eye showing. But the hair itself that's metal, the top of the head there, and it is super high gloss, beautiful paint finish there, if a little dusty. That's the thing about this particular piece. It attracts dust literally in microseconds and is a fingerprint magnet, so it's constantly in need of cleaning. But yeah, the proportions absolutely nailed on, the paint applications, and a feat of engineering here. And with all that metal in, you are talking a hefty piece of work here. This is probably one of the heaviest figures I have got in the collection. This thing weighs an absolute ton, and you just take a look around the back, we can see those. That always reminds me of a baby Darth Vader for some reason when I see him at that angle. But yeah, around the back you can see that the paint applications on here, the detailing underneath the feet with those rockets in his boots is superb. It's absolutely amazing. Wonderful thing to behold, a wonderful feat of engineering, and I'm going to have to put him down because this guy weighs a ton. So there you have it, folks. That is Astroboy and his pod, courtesy of Blitzway. So I think what we should do next is go in for a verdict on this young man. Okay folks, so it's time for a final verdict on Astroboy from Blitzway, and I couldn't resist dimming the lights a little bit for this section just so you could get some idea of the overall impact. Even in this light, you can see just how effective those light up features actually are. So, verdict time. I'm biased, I'm going to say that from the get-go here. And also as well, yeah, this is a niche piece. It's not to everybody's taste. It's not really maybe in the mainstream of collecting, and it's not really a mainstream piece in the way it's been constructed either, and it's not really mainstream in the price tag either, because that's pretty hefty. But taking all that into consideration, I think what Blitzway have done here is a tour de force of not only of artistic interpretation, but of mechanical engineering as well. I think it's a thing of beauty. Absolutely incredible. That pod, we've talked about that pod, simply wonderful. A great accessory, a great way of displaying the figure. Beautifully made, beautifully painted, and really, really well thought out, with the storage, the containers at the bottom here and the storage on the sides. Then you've got the multiple looks, loads of different looks to play around with here. Literally, you're never going to get bored with this figure. There is always a new look to be had. So yeah, fantastic. The engineering, it is exemplary, from the body underneath, with the paint applications, the detailing, the engineering of all the body parts and how they interchange and how they work together. Just absolutely incredible. The lightness obviously is 100% there. It's an anime character, it's a manga character, so it's not really that complex. However, what they have done here, Blitzway, that simplicity belies everything else that's going on here, and rather than just give us a bog standard Astroboy with the skin tones and the hair, they've given us everything underneath there in a variety of looks as well. So yeah, as I said there, completely biased on this one. Niggles, I've only got 2 real niggles with this particular piece, and we've mentioned both of those already. One of those is the tolerance on the metal body here, and all these parts of metal that you're looking at here. Tolerances can be a little bit difficult, and as I say, you can spend an afternoon swapping the parts out, and you can sometimes feel like they're about to snap on you or something's going to break. So the tolerances could have been ever so slightly better. So yeah, a tiny point off there for that. And the only other thing that really I can mention as a niggle is the power supply. You know, with this being a 2.0 version, as we mentioned before, it would have been nice to see Blitzway go with a USB powered pod, and maybe an alternate power supply other than button cell batteries for the figure itself. But they are the 2 minor niggles I have with this piece. But on the whole, yeah, I think you know where this is going. It's a done deal. As far as I'm concerned, it is a straight up Grail. There's never been anything more Grail than this particular Grail, in my opinion. And yeah, that's going to be, you know, it really is down to you whether you're a fan of Astroboy, whether you've even heard of him. Who knows? But for me, even if you haven't heard of Astroboy, I think any collector of figures, any collector of statues or memorabilia for that matter, can look at the engineering on this and just be blown away, even without knowing who Astroboy actually is. So there you have it, folks. That is Blitzway's take on Astroboy, and it is an astronomical Grail, simply a superb piece. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Grail or Fail, folks. What are your thoughts on Blitzway? What are your thoughts on Astroboy? What are your thoughts on this particular piece? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. Nothing is off menu, and I'd love to hear your take on this. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got loads more episodes of Grail or Fail. We've got loads more 6-scale figure reviews. We've got new reviews from Hot Toys, from InArt, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic. We have Caustic Plastics Chuck Norris coming in very, very soon. We've also got stuff from Iconic Studios, to name but a few. So if you haven't already, as I mentioned at the top there, hit that subscribe button and mash that bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And I suppose all that remains for me to say from the Grail that is Blitzway's Astroboy. Take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and until next time on the channel, it's over to the showcase.